Welcome to Little Bottles, Big Shifts, the ADHD wellness podcast for women. I'm Imelda, and each week I'll be bringing you bite-sized tips, real talk, and a dash of essential oil goodness to help you shift from frazzled to flourishing. So, let's get on with it, shall we? Enjoy the episode. Well, hello there, and welcome back to Little Bottles, Big Shifts, the podcast where ADHD meets real life, a dash of essential oils, and probably more timers than any one human should really need. Today, I thought I'd walk you through a day in my life, ADHD style. The quirky routines, the little hacks, the random rituals that keep me vaguely on the rails. Some of them are sensible, some of them are ridiculous, and honestly, all of them are mandatory. So first thing in the morning, waking up is weirdly the easiest part of the day for me. I do set an alarm, which sometimes does wake me up, but usually I wake up naturally, especially in the summer when it gets light super early, and or one of my many pets will wake me up. I am a morning person. As soon as my brain pings into wake-up mode, it immediately floods with a gazillion ideas that I think all have to be done immediately. And before I know it, I'm up, dressing gown on, downstairs, standing in the kitchen, wondering why on earth I walked in there in the first place. So the first thing I do after the pets have been fed is water. Hydrate before you caffeinate. Otherwise, I definitely do feel really weird all day. So once I've drunk at least 300 mils of water, coffee is one of my favourite things. And I am unapologetically a coffee snob. None of that instant nonsense. I need the good stuff. Beans, freshly ground, strong, black, and steaming hot. And sometimes, this does sound weird, I do add rock salt or cinnamon, but that is it. It's my early morning ritual. I don't drink heaps of coffee during the day. I usually switch to herbal teas after this, but that strong black coffee is integral to my brain saying, right, let's do this. And interestingly, little ADHD fact check for you, caffeine actually works a bit differently for ADHD brains. So for neurotypical people, it's a stimulant that can make them feel jittery or wired. But because ADHD is linked to lower baseline dopamine, caffeine can actually help us focus. It can help us calm down and feel more regulated. Kind of like a DIY mini version of stimulant meds. Which is why my strong black coffee is less about bouncing off the walls and more about actually feeling human. I also use my morning flower, which is medical cannabis. It's prescribed, it's medicine, and honestly, it just clears the static in my brain and helps me launch into my day. In terms of essential oils, peppermint and wild orange in the diffuser is an instant mood uplift. It's especially good if you've got kids you need to get up and out for school or college. A good uplifting scent like peppermint and wild orange wafting around the house first thing really does make a difference. Now, timers. I use these for everything. They are brilliant for getting started when your ADHD brain is fighting you. But another level up from timers is time blocking. So that's actually mapping out your day in your calendar. I do this every morning. And the really cool bit, you don't have to do it alone anymore. AI tools can help generate a time-blocked plan based on your tasks, then export it straight into a calendar file so you can just drop it straight into Google or Outlook. So instead of starting a list, you've got your day visually mapped out in your calendars with alerts to remind you. Now, if you're not sure, you're feeling a bit overwhelmed about giving this a go, I've created a quick cheat sheet on how to time block your day using AI because I find it so useful. And there is a link to that in the show notes. So during the day, my daytime survival kit looks something like this. Noise cancelling headphones, aka the mute button for the entire world. These are game changing. If you don't have active noise cancelling headphones or AirPods, I cannot recommend them enough. I use the Apple AirPod Pros, and even if I don't have any music or I'm not listening to anything, just the active noise cancellation part is amazing to help me stay focused. Next, roller blends. I've always got a plethora of oils around me, as I'm sure you can imagine. And a brilliant one to have with me is peppermint for brain fog, and also lavender for when I'm feeling slightly overwhelmed and just need to calm my brain down a little bit. Fidget toys and random crystals rattling around in my pockets and on my wrists. I've always got crystals around me. Also, another game changer is my height adjusting desk, so I can stand for a bit. And just that change in posture is like a mini dopamine boost for my brain. Changing work positions can give your nervous system a gentle little reset. ADHD brains crave stimulation, and even small shifts in posture can increase blood flow, wake up your muscles, and release a mini hit of dopamine. It's basically like tricking your brain into thinking, "Oh, something's changed. What's happening now?" Which helps with focus and reduces that heavy stuck feeling when you've been in one position for too long. Even just a quick wiggle, a stretch, or swapping into a different chair can have that same effect. It's all about giving your brain a little novelty without derailing your entire day. Now, notebooks. You know I love a notebook, and I have them everywhere. I have to write stuff down as soon as it pops into my brain, and I can't use my phone as I'll get distracted by the notifications as soon as I pick it up and look at it. So old school notebooks, pieces of paper, and pens in many, many different colours are my go-tos. I have a small notebook with me at all times and plain paper on my desk for when I'm working, for doodles, random notes, or just to mind map ideas. Now, one of my pet hates is meal planning. I hate meal planning. I don't even really like food. I find it just sort of gets in the way, and it's another thing that I have to make decisions about. So I tend to skive off this chore as much as I can. We get HelloFresh every week, especially in the school holidays, and I always make sure we have ingredients for healthy, picky plates and build your own bowls. This approach has not only helped my stress levels, but it also gives my kids some autonomy over their dinner to a certain extent. So everyone's happy and full. And as I like to say at the end of every day, everyone fed, no one dead. That is a winner in my book. To-do lists and Notion dashboards are my fake organisational faves. So half the time, it's just me moving tasks that I didn't do, again, into a new to-do list for the following week. It's tradition now, but hey, I like writing lists, so we're all good. Household chores, in particular cleaning, is another area of my life that I'm really not great at. But during lockdown, I discovered the Organised mum method, which I will also link to the website on the show notes. Gemma Bray is absolutely brilliant. Think of them as podcasts you can put on, and she times it all and tells you exactly what you need to do in each room. They're all half an hour each. You do a different room every day of the week, and it just keeps the overwhelm at bay. So that has been a game changer for me. There is a book, there is a website, and there is an app which I use on a daily basis. And you can also pass the app to your children to get them to help. So Gemma Bray can do the nagging for you. She says that herself, not me. So I would highly recommend that. Now, in the evening, your bedtime ritual does not need to be overly complicated. Just think about one thing that calms your body and one thing that calms your brain. And then repeat it. Put it on repeat every night so your nervous system recognises those cues. Now, I use my evening flower, my medical cannabis, again, which helps me wind down in the evening, stops me with the mindless scrolling when my brain's going into overdrive, and it helps me get into proper rest mode. For me, it's like closing down all the tabs from the day so I can rest and recharge. I also diffuse a variety of oils in the bedroom, but my go-tos for a great kit are air and lavender. I also use vetiver on the soles of my feet to avoid my brain waking me up at 2 a.m. with a Dolby surround sound version of an ABBA karaoke. This does happen if I'm overwhelmed, if I'm stressed. So vetiver is a massive game changer. And also a weighted blanket. It's like an ADHD hug machine. If I could carry it around with me like a toddler with a blankie, I absolutely would. Now, not everyone can get on board with this one, but I am quite strict. No screens after 8 p.m. The phone goes downstairs to charge, and so I'm not tempted to scroll. The only tech I have upstairs is my Apple Watch for my alarm and my Kindle. I also switched the lights to really low to signal my brain it's time to calm down. If your oil diffuser also has a light, even better. So that's a day in the life of me using my ADHD survival skills I've honed over the years. It's not fancy. It's not scientifically backed. but it keeps me moving forward. I would love to know what your daily lifesavers are. Drop me a message on Instagram or send me an email, because honestly, half of my best hacks come from other ADHD brains sharing what works for them. So until next time, stay hydrated, sniff your oils, savour your favourite posh coffee, and if all else fails, you can always go and treat yourself to some new stationery. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Little Bottles, Big Shifts. I hope you found something within my ramblings helpful or inspiring. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. We're all navigating our own unique paths with ADHD, and sharing our stories can make all the difference. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing so you never miss an update. It would also be amazing if you could spare a few minutes to leave a review. I'd love to hear your thoughts, questions, or topics you'd like me to cover. Also, feel free to connect with me on social media. And if you know of anyone who might find this podcast useful, please do share it with them. And more importantly, be gentle with yourself. Embrace your strengths, learn from your challenges, and remember, every step forward is progress, no matter how small. I look forward to sharing more insights and stories with you next time. Until then, take care and stay curious.